record because I want to make sure everyone gets this that isn't on live. Let me go and let's see. You guys can see the screen, right? Leia, can you give me a thumbs up if you can? All right. And then I'm going to go into presentation mode if I can find that because I'm not that tech savvy. I did it yesterday for our team call. Can we just do like play? It was like right up on top last time. Does anybody see it? And I'm just like totally missing where to press play. Blue share button on right. Are you sure?
It says not the share button, the present button. To the next.
Ah, there we go. All right, cool. So Leia, you can see that, right? Unmute yourself because I can't see the chat.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, now we're on. Now we are good. So thanks everybody for coming to tonight's webinar. Like I said in our group page, so if you are doing 80-day obsession with us, you kind of already know that everyone's getting amazing results. There's this crazy awesome energy in the group, but there might be some of you that are watching this call either being recorded or maybe you are just doing another Beachbody program and a coach invited you to watch this because they thought you might make a great coach, or maybe you've never did a Beachbody program and a coach reached out to you because they just like your positivity, they like your mindset, and they think you would make an awesome coach. So without further ado, we are doing this call because of the tremendous amount of results that we're getting from the 80-day obsession group. And that's how most of us became coaches in the first place. So for those of you that don't know me, like in our 80-day group, we've been sharing our stories as coaches on like, how do we get into this whole coaching thing? Like it is kind of crazy when I think about 6 years ago, or is it 5 or 6 years? I think it's 5 years. So 5 years ago is when I kind of got introduced to Beachbody. I had like this aha moment at a Super Bowl party and I was just like overweight, had like the muffin top coming out. I was completely embarrassed. And that was kind of my aha moment that like I needed to get my act together. And the funny thing is like I was a athletic trainer at the time. So like I went to school for this kind of stuff and I was having my own issues. And I remember my brother telling me about this workout program called Insanity. And back then like social media wasn't big. So I didn't see any like challenge groups or I didn't see any coaches on Facebook, but I Googled it. I found it on Amazon and I bought it through there. So I personally did not go through a challenge group my first time, but after I got great results with Insanity, I went onto the Beachbody website, got connected to my coach because a coach is assigned to you for free. And she told me about this awesome opportunity to, still stay in shape, do different programs, and also earn an income through this, because what was happening is people were coming to me and saying, wow, like you look great. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing this Beachbody program. And I'm sure a ton of people went to Google and did the same thing I did. And she's like, well, those people that are asking you what you're doing, you can tell them what you're doing and actually help them through the process. I'm like, I do like to help people. And I didn't see the big vision back then. But like at the time, I was really struggling with my job. Like growing up, I had that so-called just structure of go to school, get good grades, get a college degree, and get this amazing job that you're going to do for 50 years. And then hopefully at the end of it, you can get a nice pension plan and retire, and then you can enjoy life. 5 years kind of into doing that, I was like, holy crap, there is no way I'm going to make another 45 years of doing this, working at a public high school. Like there was just no way. I changed schools and all things like that, but it was just not, I loved helping people. I loved health and fitness, obviously, but there was just some sort of disconnect. And I felt like there was a greater purpose to my life. And I didn't really know that connection until I started, until I joined Beachbody and became a coach. So as much hesitation as I had, because like I said, my coach was a free coach. I had no idea who she was. She was a complete stranger. And when she asked me to be a coach, I pretty much laughed, and I'm like, dude, this chick is trying to scheme me. She's trying to get me in one of those pyramid things. Like, this is such a scam. But in the back of my head, I was thinking, man, like, if this is the thing that like gets me out of my funk, that gets me to where I want to be, then you know what? Like, I already know the workout programs work. And if this was a big scam, I'm pretty sure like Insanity and P90X, I'm pretty sure like the government would have stopped it by now, right? Because it was all like on the infomercials. So I did my own homework on it, and I was like, you know what? Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that would happen is I just stay in amazing shape like I was, and I didn't help anyone. The best case scenario is I helped one other person. And luckily I helped a lot more than just one other person. But I was able to quit my high school, my full-time job, about 2.5 years ago. So it took me 3 years to leave my full-time job. And I told myself that once I earned 6 figures, I would let myself quit my full-time job. And that's what I did. Like, that second it happened, I was like, boop, I'm done. Once I earn 6 figures every year, I'm done. So that's what I did. And I know that's kind of like crazy hearing that you can make 6 figures with posting your workout selfies on Facebook and Instagram, and getting in amazing shape, and your job is pretty much like working out. And I didn't take a shower today. I'm still in my workout clothes. And it's hard to really like comprehend that. But guys, like, this opportunity is freaking amazing. And if you can't comprehend that right now, if you could just comprehend of maybe you just want to get your Shakeology paid for, or maybe you just have some student loans that you want to pay off, or maybe this is just something that is going to hold you accountable to your own health and fitness goals. Because before Beachbody, yeah, like, I did tons of diets, ton of like stupid stuff too to lose weight, but it was always a yo-yo, right? Back and forth, back and forth. And now I finally have something that is keeping me on track, because number one, like, people are looking at me, right? Like, people are watching me. Like, the Rose to Her workout today, like, I have to show up, not just for myself, but I have to show up for my challengers. I have to show up for my group. And then Beachbody's always coming out with all these amazing, crazy programs that just like ups the notch, right? Like, who would have ever thought like 80-day obsession would have been like this freaking amazing? So I'm going to go through this stuff like really quickly. I think you all know what Beachbody is. It was founded, in 1998. And the cool thing is that this was not structured as a multi-level marketing company. It was just structured as an infomercial. Once people started getting results with P90X, the Carl Deichler and John Congdon, the founders, decided, you know what, instead of just like putting these on the shelves at like Walmart or Target, they started having people like talk to each other. Like, back in the day, they had like those chat rooms. They were like inspiring each other and motivating each other and giving each other like tips with recipes and how to, do the workout and this and that. And they're like, why don't we have those people support the new people that are going to be doing P90X? So that's kind of where the network marketing side came into play. So instead of Target and Walmart getting the money, they decided the people that are getting the results from our program, why don't we pay them to be, pretty much the coaches of the network. So that's kind of how this came about. And then, since 98, all these amazing things came out. And even like my mom does this. And in the beginning, she was a huge skeptic too, which I'll talk about. But, there's so many different workouts, so many different programs. So if you're not doing 80-day obsession, you might be doing PIO or 21-day fix. But there's always something that's keeping you going, so you're not being stagnant. You're not kind of hitting that plateau, because if you have Beachbody on demand, there's always a new workout right at your fingertips. So the really big thing with Beachbody, why I really got started, was because of Shakeology. Because at the time, I was working 6 days a week, nights, weekends, holidays. So yes, I worked for a high school, but I didn't get winter break. I didn't get summer break. I pretty much worked every single day. So my hours were absolutely crazy, and I ate like absolute crap. Especially late nights for like wrestling tournaments and football games. Like, I couldn't eat a meal at the sideline of a football game. I went home at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night and had a whole pie of pizza. Yes, like me, 5 foot tall, had a whole pizza because I was starving. But I could bring a shake with me on the sideline, have my dinner, and no one would like yell at me and tell me I'm not doing my job. But before I kind of dove right into Shakeology, I'll be honest, I did not take my coach's word. My background is obviously health and fitness. I had to take nutrition classes and everything to get my state license. So I had the knowledgeable background to really dive into the ingredients of Shakeology. And I looked at everything. I looked at other shakes too. And I wanted something that was real, that was whole food, that didn't have a lot of like fillers and processed crap in it. Because yes, I know Shakeology is not a $30 bag. We'll be honest, right? It's not. But if you want a $30 bag, then you're just not going to get quality. So it's kind of like, I talk about it like in makeup. Do you want like, what do they call that one? Like that makeup that you used to get at Wawa, like Wild and something. Or do you want MAC makeup? Do you know what I mean? Like there's a difference of the quality behind things. So when people ask me like, is Shakeology a protein shake? I'm like, it has protein in it. Or they say, I already have a GNC protein shake. I'm like, that's great. That might be a great protein shake. But Shakeology is a superfood meal, meaning you don't just get protein in it, you get antioxidants, you get pre and probiotics, you get digestive enzymes, you get things that are micronutrients. So micronutrients are those things I just said, like digestive enzymes, antioxidants, things that don't have necessarily calories to it, but things that your body needs to work properly again. So when you have cravings and you are depleted of energy, your hair and nails are brittle, your skin looks like crap, you're not getting the right micronutrients. You might be getting a lot of macronutrients. You might be getting your carbs, proteins, and fats, but without those micronutrients, you're not getting the full spectrum of everything. So that's where Shakeology comes into place. And if you guys are in the 80-day group, you know how your body feels on it. So I'm not going to read through everything. You guys can kind of, and I do suggest everyone do your due diligence. Go Google the ingredients on the back of Shakeology, and it will blow your mind. The quality of the superfoods that are in there, because our superfoods are handpicked. If we find that something's not right in it, we drop that. We drop that farm. It's all farming in all different countries, and we'll either drop that superfood or we'll find somebody else who has that high quality that's organic and not using any chemicals on the superfoods. So, why does this whole like Beachbody coaching thing work? Because people get results. And that's why people stick with this. And that's why this company works, is because we're not just selling you a bag of shake. We're not just selling you a workout. We're selling you your life. We're sharing you your health and fitness. We're sharing longevity, right? Like, yes, this can be about losing weight and, fitting into whatever type gene you want to fit into. But it really comes down to feeling great to live the best life you want to, feeling like, holy crap, like I did this. I crushed this workout. I can do big things. Guys, this is not just about a workout. Like we might, and Autumn probably says this too, like, yes, it's a workout. Yes, you're eating healthy. But if you're able to do something like this, guess what else you're going to be able to do with your life? And that's kind of how I kind of came into this, is like, I did Insanity, which is a tough program. After I did that, I felt so determined. I felt like, wow, I could do like hard things. So what else could I do in my life? Could I potentially do this coaching thing and maybe earn some income with it? Could I potentially quit my full-time job? That's how it started. So it gave me that confidence, not just with my workouts, but just in my life. if you guys, even if you've known me from 5 years ago, or even if you've known me from high school, I'm a completely different person than I was back then, because just of the growth that this gives you. One of like the key things in life that you need to be doing on a constant basis is growth. So if you're just like going through the same things, and I would say like my Groundhog Days, right? Like I would do the same thing over and over, and it was awful. Because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't growing. I didn't have any goals. So that's what Beachbody really gave me, was the ability to know that, yeah, I graduated college. I got a great job, but that doesn't mean that all my goals and my growth as a person just ends. Like I needed something that's going to continually push me to be a better person. So that's kind of what Beachbody has done for me. So if you're thinking in the back of your mind, well, I can't be a coach because I'm not a fitness expert, or I'm not an athletic trainer, or I'm not a nutritionist or a coach, or my big thing is I'm not a salesperson. I told that to my coach over and over again. Like, I'm not a salesperson. Like, this is not for me. I hate Facebook. I hate social media. I hate posting. But I'll be honest with you guys. If you can make 6 figures posting a selfie on Facebook and inspiring people, would you do it? I would think you would say yes, right? So those are all the things like you don't have to be. What is someone that is a Beachbody coach? Anybody, right? Like we have so many, like there's not like a one size fits all for a Beachbody coach. It's just somebody that wants to be in the best shape of their life, whatever that is for them, that they want to inspire people. They want to help people. They want something, you know, like I felt this emptiness in my life. They want to find something that's going to drive them, that they have passion for, that gives them purpose. Like with Beachbody, like it's crazy the amount of purpose that you have, because you get all of these new friends and you have this amazing team and you do things together. You go on vacations together. You hang out on the weekends. You meet each other at like coffee houses to sip on tea or whatever. It really changes every aspect of your life. But really a coach is just anybody that is willing to put themselves out there because they just see something, they believe in themselves, right? They believe, if you're in a good network marketing company, if you believe the product works. So if you believe 80-Day Obsession works, I think we can all kind of like raise our hands saying, yes, 80-Day Obsession is working for us. If you believe drinking Shakeology and Recover, that you feel a difference, you have more energy, your skin is like glowing, or your stomach issues are going away. That's when you know you're like in the right place because you believe in it. So if you believe in it, as long as you can share it with other people, that's really the process of being a coach, is just sharing your story, right? And sharing what it's done for you, what it's done for your family, what it's done for your friends, what it's done for the people in the challenge group that you're in right now. Once you have that belief, that's all you need, because the rest we just teach you. I never had a marketing background. Like I still don't know freaking, like anything like that. All I know how to do is share my story, post sweaty selfies, and I share my life with people. I share the ups, the downs, because that just shows that I'm a real person. I'm not perfect. I am not Autumn Calabrese. And you'll see our coaches are teachers, nurses, wives, like corporate professionals, stay-at-home moms, wear a different array of women, and we do have some men, if there are some men on the line I can't see right now. And we have husbands that work out with their wives too, which is pretty awesome. But there's not a one size fits all with coaching. So if you're thinking that's not me, I would say it just might be. You have to kind of get outside of that square box and think kind of in that big picture moment. So what type of coaches do we kind of have on our team? So the first type of coach is a discount coach, meaning, I'm really not too sure about working the business, but I do want to get a 25% discount on my Shake and my Recover and my Energize because I love it and I can't go a day without it. Or you're maybe just wanting to get your products paid for. So if you share this with 3 other people and they want to join you with 80-Day Obsession, that pays for your product. Pretty awesome, right? And you're not just getting your product paid for, but you're changing somebody else's life. Like 80-Day Obsession, Insanity, 21-Day Fix, all this it really opens up your eyes and educates you on what great health is. We have a part-time coach, and a part-time coach, full-time coach, it doesn't mean like the amount of hours you work for. You are your own boss, right? As a team, we're here to help you, but I don't say, Tina, you have to work 50 hours a week to be a coach on our team. Like, no, like that's not the thing. As your upline, as the team, we're just here to support you. We tell you what has worked for us, and it's up to you to decide to take action. And that's really it. So we will match your effort. If you don't show up, no offense, I'm not going to show up for your business. That doesn't make any sense. But if you're like, Rose, I want to run with this. I want to make 6 figures. I want to like quit my full-time job in like 3-4 years. I'm all in with you. Like, I will show you exactly what you need to do to get this done. So a part-time coach is somebody that just wants to earn a couple $100s per week or a couple $100 per month. Maybe you want to pay off that student loan, or maybe you just want to pay your grocery bill every month. Totally up to you. Full-time coach. I don't think I got into this mindset until maybe I was like 6 months in, and I can kind of like get the sense of energy and see how other coaches, not just my coach, but once I saw that other people were being successful in this, I said, why not me? What makes me different from anybody else? Nothing. There is no knowledge, or there's no techniques, there's no skills that you need to know to be a coach. We didn't wake up and say, we know how to do 80-day obsession. No, we wake up, we press play, and we just get through it, right? And that's what this pretty much is. You learn as you go. So it doesn't take any skills to be a coach. It just takes belief, and it just takes effort. Everybody can put in effort if they want something bad enough. And then there's a full-time coach. So this is your full-time job. You are the creator of your life. You have the freedom of time to do your workout when you want to. You have the time to do whatever you want to on the weekends. You don't have to call in sick if you are sick, right? And have that like guilty feeling like, crap, I don't want to call my boss. I'm really sick though, and I can't go to work. So we accept all these different types of coaches on our team. Just depends on what your goals are for your life and what point. And you might start out as a discount coach, and then as you get into it and share with more people, you might see, oh wow, like I'm actually starting to earn more than just getting my products paid for. And you'll kind of go through the different steps. So this is really important because this is not a get rich quick scheme. I like to tell people that right off the bat. Like, if you think you're going to make 6 figures in 6 months, sorry, like that's just not this business. And if someone's telling you that is a business, no, it's not true. But I did want to show you, as a new coach, this might have been like my first like few months. $64 I got, and these are weekly paychecks. So $64 in a week. Not life changing, but fill up my tank once or twice. I had a Civic back then, so maybe 3 times. But 24 months into being a coach, yeah, I'll take $1,100 doing this after I got home from work, maybe an hour every single night. Guys, like I said, I was working 6 days a week at the time. I was in a long distance relationship. Me and my husband were 100 miles apart. So on the one day that I did have off, I drove 2 hours to go see him. And then on Monday morning with my dog, I would drive almost 3 hours because I'd have to drive to my condo, drop off the dog, and drive another hour up to my work. If you want this bad enough, you'll make it happen. So if you say you don't have time, it's just about priority. How bad do you want it? I used to wake up and watch Netflix. I don't do that anymore. I used to just sit down and watch TV at night. I'm on webinars. I'm teaching my team. I'm on one-on-one calls. I'm doing things for my challenge groups, right? So as a coach, you make 25% commission from anything that that people purchase through your website. And then you also, as a coach, get a 25% discount off of anything that we get. So if you are a discount coach, or you actually want to work the business, you get 25% off of everything that we have. And you get 25% commission off of anything that people buy through your website. So here's kind of a little bit more of a progression so you guys can see what I earned. So 2013. So yeah, this will be my 5-year anniversary in 7 days because I signed up on Valentine's Day of 2013. So yeah, average $100 per week, nothing mind-blowing. And then as you can see, 8 months, a year, 2 years. For me, it pretty much doubled and tripled. Like my second and third year, it pretty much tripled. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but what is cool about this is called the compound effect. Just like your workouts, if you show up consistently, you'll get a big result over time. You won't get the result right away, right? Like week 1 of 80-day obsession, I don't think many of us saw anything huge, but we're on what, like day 23, day 24? Like a lot of us are starting to see progress. That is just the compound effect of doing small little things that's going to add up over time. So it's about being consistent on a daily basis. So that's it for me. I hope I didn't talk too much. Sorry, guys, I did. But Leia is going to take it over. Leia, I'm going to just exit out of my screen, and then you can stop this, and you can hop on and share your screen if that's good.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me just get the PowerPoint up. Sorry, guys.
If you guys have questions now, you can just type it in the chat, and I can type back, or we can save questions for the end too. So anything you have questions for me, how I did it, working full-time as a high school athletic trainer, where I found the time, things like that, that's definitely a question you can ask.
Okay, let me share screen. I am not the best technology person, but I have done this a handful of times now where I know how to get this to work. Okay, can everybody see my screen? I can't see anybody.
You're good.
Okay. All right, so I am very excited to be talking to you guys tonight. My name is Leia Lewis, and I have been coaching for a little over 2 years. So I see some of you on there that I invited and that are, I'm excited to have you guys here. But anyway, I am, let me tell you about me. So I'm a mom. This is kind of weird that I can't see you guys. I'm seeing the screen. Hold on for me. Backwards. Okay. So I'm a mom. I live in central New Jersey. I have 3 kids. My oldest is 7, and I have twins that are 5. I'm married. I got into coaching really totally by accident, just very similar to Rose. I suffered postpartum depression after my twins and really needed an outlet to help myself. I was really suffering, really in a bad place, very negative mindset, truly just like at rock bottom. And over time, from my anxiety, I would cope with food, I would cope with wine, and I got to a point finally where I was like, okay, enough is enough. I need to do something about the way that I feel, because I would go through the days literally feeling like a walking zombie. It didn't matter to me how much sleep I got. I was eating like crap and surely wasn't taking care of myself. I was really just like in mom mode, taking care of my kids. And so I had a friend that I worked with that I saw, probably similar to some of you guys, posting about her journey on Facebook, sharing about how she had lost all this weight. She was a mom. She had 3 kids. She looked amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, how on earth does she look like that? She looks really amazing. And so I reached out to her, and just like many of you, I said, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to decide to take care of myself. I'm going to commit to this program. I started with a program called Body Beast way back in the day. It's a kind of very traditional weightlifting program. I love muscles, as you can see in my pictures. And I just dove 100% in, fell head over heels, and had an amazing physical transformation. Besides the physical transformation, I started feeling like for the first time in my life for a very long time that I wasn't a quitter, that I wasn't like telling myself every Monday, okay, I'm going to start working out, I'm going to do something. And I had gotten so lost in mom mode and so lost as like who I was anymore, my identity, that I was doing something for me as a person, and it really filled me up, made me feel so good. I started getting results pretty quickly, and as a result of that, I honestly was just really excited that I started sharing. I was probably not the average person that was shy about posting. I shared my journey like kind of before I really even started coaching a little bit. And as a result of that, I was getting tons of people like commenting and making me feel good about myself. And my coach had told me when I started, like, hey, there's always a way that you can, get a discount on your costs, and you could possibly coach too. And she had planted that seed in my ear very early on. And I immediately was like, well, maybe, I don't know. I can't even make time for myself right now to work out. How am I going to possibly coach? But I fell so in love with the way that I felt. I fell so in love with the community. If you're in our 80-day obsession group, you know that there's nothing you could possibly, the words to describe the community of support, the feeling that you're in this place of safety, that people are like you, that they get you, and that you're all like on this journey cheering each other on top of the physical feelings that you got. I just fell so in love and decided to become a coach. So that was over 2 years ago. I remember my very first call that I had with my upline, and she asked me like, what kind of coach you want to be? Just like, Rose showed that those multiple kinds. And I said, I'm just going to be a hobby coach. I just want to get like my shakes paid for, earn a little bit of money. And my biggest fear was time. Like, I was a mom, I was busy, I worked a corporate job. It was not, it was a stressful job. I worked probably 50 to 60 hours a week on top of family and everything like that. And really quickly on, as I started to share my journey and people started to join me and my friends started to join me and my family started getting healthy, I became like obsessed with this feeling of helping other people and seeing this ripple effect in not just my life and others. And so I quickly started to climb that ladder of what I wanted. I worked my business with, a corporate job, finding pockets of time. I would make extra time in the mornings, wake up early on my lunch break, take little breaks throughout the day. Anytime I could possibly get, like, I was really good at multitasking, not so much anymore because I'm full-time. But I was really good at multitasking and making time at night if I needed to find times in my day to work my business. And just like, well, I don't actually know if Rose actually said this. I feel like you did, but not sure. Just like you have decided you're on this physical journey and now your health is a priority, you've made a commitment and you've made time for yourself, right? Anything that you want in life, if it's important to you, if it's a priority, you can make the time, right? So I am now over 2 years into this business. As of last May, I actually quit my full-time corporate job. My business has slowly progressed, a little bit less paced than Rose's, but it is growing over time and growing over time. And my team is building and it's starting to flourish. But I was able to make that decision because of a lot of other changes that happened in my life. And the biggest really impact that has had so far is that it's changed the person that I am today. I became obsessed with what Rose talked about, is growing and changing. I'm a personal development junkie. Anybody on my team knows this. They know that I thrive with wanting to be better for me and my family and for my clients and everybody. And so I have become just, so in this world of constantly focus on evolving and changing and self-realization and growing. And it's shaped every decision that honestly I've made over the last 2 years. I've quit jobs that I was scared to do, take other positions. It's enabled us to make financial decisions to eliminate debt. It's enabled me to make the decision to quit my corporate job that I did in May. That I took, I quit a very high paying, good job temporarily with a little bit of a loss because my business wasn't fully matching. But I took that risk, right? And I took that decision. And I've made a lot of other decisions because of the person I've become that's now obsessed with making growth and taking risks to grow. And so that's just a little bit about me. I absolutely live, love, and breathe Beachbody and coaching and the way that it's changed my life. And I know that it has for so many others, and that just fills me up. So I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about kind of some of the objections that I hear, especially when I'm talking to coaches or even my experience personally. My computer battery is low. I'm going to start talking about this. Can you get the battery cord for me? So one of the common things that people, worry about or question, or they hear Beachbody and they hear network marketing. If you aren't aware yet, like Rose said, Beachbody is network marketing. Shut up. What that basically means is that it's the way that you are able to build your business. You build your business based on the amount of people that you can help, right? You help your customers, and then you help coaches, and you help your coaches build their own businesses. So it builds volume, which enables you to earn income over time. Beachbody is not a pyramid scheme. Pyramid schemes are basically where the way that they work is that you earn money off of just signing people up, and that there's not necessarily a product that is actually going to benefit people. You've heard companies in the last, I know there's the last year or two, I've heard a lot of network marketing companies like be named for pyramid schemes, and the government really definitely looks into that heavily. Our company has been around for years, as you saw, and it's just like many of the other, MLMs, very well-known MLMs that like Mary Kay, Avon, that are established, and that's just the way that the business is designed. What's different about us is that it is truly not just a product, right? It's about yourself. It's about your story. It's about the changes that you're able to make, and it's a lifestyle change. I don't know about you, but I personally don't think that buying lipstick is going to help change someone's life, or selling lipstick. And if anybody does that, I apologize for offending you, but I personally don't believe that selling lipstick is going to be life-changing, right? The way that we help people transform their mind, the way they feel about themselves, relationships, their body, their health, those are life-changing things that make Beachbody different, that I personally love. So Rose talked about some of these already, and I'm just going to address a few. So I'm not a salesperson, right? This is a lot of what I hear. I'm not a salesperson either. I don't think that there's very many people on our team that are actually salespeople. And this is not about trying to get someone to buy something for you. We want to truly help people. Being a coach is just sharing your story and how it's helped you. If something has helped you, like just as an example, if you go to the most amazing restaurant and you get there and you have the most amazing chocolate fudge sundae, and it's like the best thing that you've ever had in your entire life. You're going to tell everybody about that, right? Like you're going to tell them, you got to go to this place. You got to get that sundae, right? I know it's not probably the best example because we're supposed to be eating healthy, but that's just an example. Like it's about sharing what works. If this has changed your life, you're just sharing that with other people so that they're able to determine if it's helpful for them, right? I don't have enough time is absolutely the number one thing that I know that I hear objections from, especially if you're a busy mom, and I attract a lot of moms as customers, as clients, as potential coaches. It's honestly an excuse, in my personal opinion, just like anything else. You probably made that excuse multiple times in the past for you, right? If something is important, you will make time for it. And you know what? That's the biggest thing, is that you have to determine what your priorities are. Everybody's priorities are different. Personally, my health and being able to provide opportunities to help other people's health, and to also at the same time help my family reach the goals and dreams that I want, are at the top of my list. So I'm going to make extra time. I had to make sacrifices as a busy mom. I had to wake up early. I had to wake up and, at 5:00 a.m. when I was working my corporate job, at an extra 45 minutes every day so that I could have time to work my business. I had to sacrifice watching TV or Netflix or, my favorite TV shows. I haven't seen Grey's Anatomy in I don't know how many years. Do I miss it? I did at the beginning, but is it worth it? Is it building my business? Is it making me money? Is it getting me to the things that I want in my life or my dreams? No. So I made those tough decisions at that time because those were not helping me reach my goals. Another thing that I often hear is that I'm not ready, right? Or I don't have a transformation yet. And what I definitely tell all my new coaches is that, first of all, everybody is evolving in their journey, right? Everybody gets to different points. Everybody has different goal weights. Everybody has different desires for what they want for themselves physically. And especially as a brand new coach, especially if you're in our coach, in our 80-day group, you don't need to be at the end of your journey to help other people. All you need to do is tell them, hey, let's do this together. Let's support each other along the way. Let's share about what's working for me now, even though I'm still on my journey. You're always going to be on a journey, and maybe your journey is not going to be physical. For me personally, I don't change much physically, right? 5-6 pounds here and there throughout the last 2 years once I reach my goal weight. But that doesn't mean that I'm not changing. Every program that I does helps me feel differently. Every program that I do helps me grow my mind. It helps me change the person that I am and my experiences and my experiences with my customers. So I'm constantly growing, and those transformations I constantly share. And just like I guess the last point here, you don't have to look a certain way as a coach, right? We have coaches that are at all different places. You don't have to have 6-pack abs. You don't need to be 110 pounds. You can look whatever shape, size, and fit. We have coaches that are in their 50s. We have coaches that are in their 20s that are in college. We have coaches all different ages, all different shapes and sizes. There's no perfect fit, like Rose already said. Everybody, you are going to attract people that are like you. So, that is what makes you unique as a coach, and that's what enables you to be able to have your own clientele base of people that you're going to be able to help. Okay, so what is it exactly that you do as a coach, right? Rose already talked about this already, but in addition to being on your own journey and growing as a person and, helping share your story, what do we also do? We run challenge groups for our customers. So we provide support through Facebook, or we have an app. We give them a place to help be accountable and support and give them motivation. We are, as a group, working towards our goals that help people feel safe, right? I mean, if you've been in a challenge group, you know that these are places where you can share, you can be vulnerable, you can share the crappy things that happened in your day. You can share when you feel like you're going to crave. You can share your victories. We celebrate success. We celebrate growth. We accept you and we support you no matter what. We hold you accountable, though, too. Obviously, every coach has their business practice. They run it a little bit different. I personally am like a tough love coach, and I tell my people, I tell them the truth. If they're not, I know what their goals are, and they're not working towards that, I hold them accountable, because that's what a good coach is for, right? But do you need to be able to know how to do this as a brand new coach? No, you don't. Did I know how to do this when I started 2 years ago, or when Rose started, or Jess, or any of the other coaches on the team? No, we didn't know. We learned through practice, right? But the other thing that's amazing is that your coach will be able to help you too, right? Most of the coaches on their team, probably, I know Rose does, and I run my groups with my new coaches. So I teach them how to run a group, and then they're confident and they're able to run them on their But what does it also do too is it helps us keep ourselves accountable. I 100% agree that if I didn't have to post a picture every day, if I didn't have to take a picture at the end of this 80-day challenge to show my results, it's not going to, I'm going to think multiple times. I'm going to be more consistent. It's going to help me stay consistent because I know that I need to show up for my clients and I need to show a good example. So what do you get as somebody that is on Team Arise, right? So as a coach, you have so much resources. We have a private Facebook group for coaches specifically. It's very similar to like any of the challenge groups that you've been in, except that we support each other. We answer business questions. We help each other. We cheer each other on, and we're there to help each other. We also have training that helps you. We have self-paced training and that has videos and materials. As a coach, when you sign up, you also get access to your own website and all of the tools that our corporate Beachbody has from every coach over the last 10 years been able to provide and support you. How to be successful in this business, there is no mystery about it. Every material possible is available to you, right? All the tools on how to do this business are available. It's just a matter of what your goals are and whether you decide to apply those to be successful or not. What else do you get? Many of the coaches work with each other to be partners or to run groups together. We also are able to be in test groups. Many of you might be in the coach test group. We provide weekly calls for our coaches to help support their personal growth and their business growth. Okay, sorry, that's my daughter. And not only that, honestly, we have freaking one of the most amazing teams. Of course, I'm biased because I'm part of this team, but the women, mostly all women in our team, are truly freaking amazing. I never honestly ever was expecting this part of the community and the friendships and the bonds that I have received from this. It was not why I signed up, because I had no idea that that was really what was going to happen when I became a coach. But what I got besides everything else was truly unbreakable bonds, friends, community, connection, a place of support that is just unparalleled. So what else do you earn as a coach? Really cool things. I mean, I don't know about you, but I freaking love going on vacation. I know Rose does too. I have been very lucky myself to earn free trips for helping lots of people and lots of customers along the way. I went on my first Riviera Maya. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's this year. I went on my first vacation free trip last year. I earned my trip for this year and next year. And I know there's so many coaches that are going to be going on our trips this year and next year too, including some of my coaches, which is really exciting to see, people start to really build their businesses. What else? We have quarterly events, Super Saturdays, Super Sundays, that are a place where we come together from coaches all over the country or a region. We have our yearly event that is called our Coach Summit every single year. And we get constant training, constant growth, constant community and connection to continue to develop you as a coach. So what is been my experience as a coach, right? Honestly, it's really hard to put into words. These are just some of the things. Some of these are from a lot of different coaches on our team. To put into a very short amount of time, because I know that we're getting close to the end of our webinar. Being a coach has been one of the best decisions of my entire life. It has enabled me to truly get into the best health, to help other people, to see other people change, to witness before your own eyes the growth of people, to see them to get healthy, to see people get off medications that they don't need for their health, to see people literally transform before your own eyes, and the way that they think, the way that they act, to make decisions for them that now they are earning enough money as a coach to be able to not work a second job, or to be able to pay for their kids' daycare, or to be able to pay off debt. I have paid off for, the money that I've earned as a coach has helped me pay off, a car, has helped me pay off of all these trips that I have gone. It's helped us pay off debt. It's enabled me to live more freely. My business is now supporting our monthly expenses, our rent and our utilities. I never imagined possibly that this would be the life that I'm living 2.5 years ago. And it's an unbelievable gift that I have been given, that I know that I continue to share with everybody, because besides all of that, and I know that if you were in the 80-day group and you saw my video this week, the connections that I've made with the women in this team, the people that are around me that support me, are truly life-changing. I am part of a team, an experience. I'm part of something that means more than just me. I'm more than just a mom. I'm more than just a wife. I'm more than just building a business. I'm helping people change their lives. And it's something that it's honestly priceless. So that's been my experience. What does, what can coaching do for you is it can eventually, like Rose said, if it's something that you want, it can enable you to be a full-time coach, to have the freedom that you want, to not have to go to, I fired my boss. I make my own schedule now. I'm able to spend time with my kids in the morning and work out when I want and do the things that I want now. Or people, that work a full-time job, it's going to enable you to have extra money for whatever it is that you desire in life. And whether it's none of those things that motivate you, whether it's just holding you accountable, or whether it's just inspiring you to have an impact on somebody else's life, coaching can be a great fit for anybody. So, I challenge you guys to think about, is this a good fit for you? Is this something that can help other people? What are your goals and your dreams? The life that you're living right now, is it getting you to those places? I know for me, I wasn't living that lifestyle before that was helping me get there. Before we finish up, I can't see. Is Jess coming on the call, Rose?
Yeah, Jess is on. Jess.
Okay.
It's not too late, Jess. You can hop on.
Okay, so before we finish for questions, we're going to end. I'm going to turn over. Let me just exit this. Stop share. We're going to turn over the rest of the call to Jess Bryson, who is going to share a little bit more about her story, and then we will open it up for questions at the end.
Okay, guys, can you hear me? Am I on your big screen now? I'm going to try not to be too loud. That's why I had to take the earphone out, because I feel like when your ears are plugged, I would like scream and wake my baby. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jess. I have been a coach for, like 4.5 years now. So I was actually one of the first coaches under Rose that decided to work the business. But like most coaches find, it's not because I went into it knowing I wanted to be a coach. So my story, it's kind of funny because every time I think about sharing my story, I forget that I actually have a pretty amazing story to share. And so, that's kind of the funny thing too, because a lot of people, when we offer the insight that there's this coaching opportunity, a lot of people go, well, who wants to listen to me, or who wants to know about my life, or who wants to care that I'm doing this program or that I'm losing weight, right? But you actually don't realize that the most powerful tool that you have as a coach is your story. And let me put you guys all in here because I feel like I need to see everyone. sorry, you don't know what I'm talking about because you don't see my screen, but I'm just doing that for me. But when I start to think about how drastically my life has changed and how different my world is now from this point to 4.5 years ago, it blows my mind. And the reason why your story is so powerful is because as a coach, people are watching you. People are connecting with you, whether you know it or not. It's because they relate to a struggle that you have. They cheer and celebrate with a success that you have. And when you share your story, you're sharing bits and pieces of that. And that is the most powerful tool that you can have in your coaching arsenal. So when you think about possibly becoming a coach, think about what you could bring to somebody's life. And think about the change and the impact that you could have on somebody's life. Because if you told me 4.5 years ago that I would meet this stranger named Rose while I was working my second job, I would have told you were crazy. And so, that's kind of the coolest part about this is when people ask me what I do as a coach, all I pretty much say in summation of it is I invite people in on my journey. I let them know when I have a sucky day. I let them know when I have an awesome day. And I let them know what tools they can use to get in the healthiest, fittest shape of their life. And then I also let them know how they can get themselves from being $26,000 in consumer debt, and becoming debt free. When you think about things in that aspect and you think that this little Beachbody program has that ability and that power to change someone's life, that's what's happened to me. So I want to share my story with you because I forget to tell it, quite honestly, because I'm in a very different place now than I was 4.5 years ago. So it won't take me 4.5 years to tell this story, I promise, but there's a lot of different pieces and moving parts to my story because I've had one hell of a health transformation. And I would love to sit here and ramble on and on about IBS and colitis and all of that good stuff with you. But this is about coaching. So we're going to focus on that part for me. But I have had ups and downs with my health my entire life. And that is just one piece that these programs and these products have changed my life drastically. So if you want to know more about that, we can chat IBS later. But for coaching wise, when I started coaching, I built my business to where I am now pretty much part-time. So I didn't initially jump right off the bat and start as a full-time coach. When I started coaching, I was a first grade teacher. I was teaching full-time, obviously. And then, like most teachers do, if you're a teacher on the call, you understand, I had 3 or 4 other jobs and thought that was the way that teachers just had to do it. We did it for the love of teaching, right? We did it for love of working with the kids, not for the money. Can't even say you did it for the benefits anymore because that's out the window. But, the job was incredible. It was a passion of mine. I was so fortunate to have a tenure track position. But the truth of the matter is I was suffering greatly from debt, a debt that I didn't even own up to my husband about, that he didn't know until shortly after he proposed to me. And honestly, the first thing I thought about when he asked me to marry him was yes. I told him yes. Of course I'll marry you. And then the anxiety and fear rushed into my head that I actually have to tell him how much debt I'm in because he's going to be my husband and he needs to know. Because although I was working a full-time job and although I was working tutoring 3 or 4 children a week after school hours, and then I would go to my evening retail job and work weekend retail jobs, I still wasn't making enough to get myself out of debt. But I also got engaged. So I wanted to look darn good for my wedding. So I had like a conflict there because I wanted to do things to better myself, to get in a really good shape and to feel really good going into my wedding day. But I also didn't have a great deal of money to spend. So I also didn't have a lot of time. I was a full-time teacher working those 2 other jobs. My time was limited. So while I was working my part-time job one Saturday at this fine athletic wear store that you should never go into if you don't want to spend all of your paycheck, because it's an L ends with lemon. I'll just tell you that. But you should never work there if you want to make money, I will say. But I was working there, and this girl came in, and she had a glow about her. She was beaming, and I stopped her, and I certainly wasn't talking about our nice pants. I asked her what skincare line she used, because she had to be doing something, and I needed that for my wedding day. That was all I knew. So she said, well, I just got done a cleanse, and I feel really, really good. Have you ever heard of Shakeology? And Rose, this was Rose. And this is how I met Rose. Complete stranger, just because she was wearing the product of happiness very well, and health. So I stopped her, asked her the question. She gave me her information and her contact information, and she told me she would reach out. So she did. She let me know that there was this cleanse that she did, and it would certainly help. We also talked more about digestive issues than most strangers do in the first time that they have a conversation. So there's that. So we connected on a lot of levels. But I did the program. I lost 16 pounds, 12 inches. My colitis and IBS symptoms were out the window, and I finally felt like I imagined everybody else in the world felt normal. They didn't have to live and work around a 3-mile radius around a bathroom that you knew about. That was my life. That's the way that I lived, and that's what I assumed that would always be my life. But it worked, and I felt amazing. So one June afternoon, I was trying to think about what I was going to do in that summer to make enough money to pay the vendors that were coming up for our fall wedding. And I posted online and said, hey, does anyone have any dog sitting, house sitting, pet walking, grooming, I don't care, you name it, if you'll pay me, I'll do it, opportunities for me, because this bride-to-be needs some money. I had already lined up camps. I had already lined up tutoring. I was still working my retail position, but anything and everything was welcome. Anything. I mean, anything. I would, walk, pet, groom, wash, whatever your dog, I don't care. I would do it. And then Rose messaged me and she said, Jess, you had such great results with this program and you were talking about it online and people are asking you, because I reached out to her and said, hey, so-and-so wants that cleanse that I did. She said, why don't you kind of pay it forward and offer to help them through it since you did the program to a T and you did it so well. I was like, oh, I had no idea. Let me tell you, if I had known about this coaching opportunity way back in 2009 when I did P90X for my sister's wedding, damn, I could have been a little further along. But the opportunity wasn't presented to me until 2013. So, sorry, tangent, this is my mind. But I did P90X and it gave me awesome results. But then I did the Ultimate Reset, and that's when my business really started. So what I started to do was I just started telling people. I shared my before and afters. I let them know about this program. And lo and behold, I started a business. No business degree. Heck no, not a salesperson. In the beginning when people would ask me about money, immediately my fears with money and hesitation, I would put that on them. So there's a lot of things that you learn about yourself and that you build upon and you outgrow, because when you start to see the value and the opportunity and what it can do for someone's life, you completely understand. And you have to put a little skin in the game. You have to put a little money out to get a big reward, right? So I've grown a lot. And in the past 4.5 years, since that moment when I did that cleanse and when I first started sharing about this opportunity of these programs, not even the business, since then, I was getting really sick of my teaching job. Quite honestly, they kept throwing more and more things at me. I had to say no to working extra shifts at my retail job because I had obligations with school that I wasn't getting paid for. And it was frustrating. It was frustrating because more and more demands and less money. And so when I started to see the potential of what this business could do, my husband kind of laughed at it when I first told him I wanted to be a coach. He's like, okay, whatever. Let's see how long this lasts. Maybe, I don't know, understand this thing at all. And it took a while. It took a while to really show him. But every Thursday, because you get paid once a week, I would tell him, hey, hon, paid for our groceries this week. Hey, Dan, look at this. We can go out to dinner on me this weekend. things that started to add up, and he was like, okay, this is something. He saw how hard I worked. He saw how dedicated and motivated I was, and he saw that it was a passion, not only in helping other people, but because it helped me so tremendously in so many ways, that I was able to build this business while working like 3 jobs. And then there was one summer that I didn't have to work another job. And when people used to tell me, oh, it must be nice, you're a teacher, you got 3 or 4 months off a year. First of all, don't say that to a teacher, because we don't. But next, no, you never had a chance to have a break. And usually in the summer, I would work more hours trying to make up for the debt that I would go into in filling my classroom every August with no paycheck yet until the second week in September. There's so many things that have changed for me. And it is really hard to put it into a 15-minute conversation with you guys, because my life is incredibly different. There was that one summer I didn't have to work, and I could go to every barbecue, every family function. I didn't have to tell somebody no because I had to work 2 shifts at my part-time job on the weekend when everybody else had off. And then there was that time I went out on maternity leave, and I didn't have to worry about extending my leave for a few extra months, and I was able to stay home with my baby girl. And then there was that time that I was able to pay off my $26,000 in debt because of this little opportunity that was presented to me. And then there was that time that I was able to let my school know that I wasn't coming back, and I was going to stay home full time with my baby girl. And I was going to be there for every moment, for every time she made a new sound. The first time that she crawled, I watched her walk. And she works out with me daily. If you want to watch, you can head over to my page. My life it's in a way that I never could have imagined. And I'm sorry that I'm getting emotional, but like I said, you forget that you have a story, and you forget that you have power in your story, and you forget that you have the ability to change someone's life. And you do have the ability to let a new mom stay home and not worry about paying her bills, and not worry about having to put her child in daycare because you work insane hours as a teacher. And if Rose never told me about that opportunity, I would be in a very different place. And our life would be, I don't even know if I can imagine where our life would be. And, sorry to get all sappy on your Wednesday night. And it's not even This Is Us, apparently, that, that I'm not sorry, not try to be that show. But, there's so much more than just a shake. It's so much more than losing weight. It's a community of people who support you in every dream and desire that you have. It's a network of people who will push you to get to where you want to be. It's a group of women who support each other because we know how hard life is, and we know how much is on our plate. But we know that if you say, I want to retire from my job, or I want to take my children out of daycare, or, I want to bring my husband home from the military, we can help you get there. But it all starts with sharing your story. It all starts with sharing your journey and sharing the impact that it's had. And it doesn't have to be such a huge transformation, like 100-pound weight loss. And it doesn't have to be that I retired from my job. It can be that you paid groceries. It can be that you were able to come off government assistance. It can be, that you were able to buy yourself a cup of coffee today on you and not on your husband, or, whatever your situation is. Know that there is so much power behind this coaching opportunity. And if you can dream it, you can do it. Because I did dream. One day I dreamt, when I was younger, I always dreamt that I would be able to be home with my daughter, my kids, but my family, but still support us and not rely on my husband for income. And to be able to say that we've achieved that, and imagine now that this is just the beginning. I can't wait to see where this team goes in a year or two, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Can you? Huge things. So thank you for letting me share my story with you. It reminds me I need to share my story more often. If you have questions, I think Leia and Rose, we're going to open it up for questions, and please ask questions. Please talk to the coach also that told you about this call, or the coach that brought you into 80-Day Obsession, because we are here. We are here to help. We are here to help you grow, and we are here to help you share your story so that you could possibly change the life the way that Rose has changed mine as my coach.
Such a perfect way to end. Oh, gosh. I love hearing that story. It's like, it still doesn't seem real. It's like crazy. All of it's crazy. All of it's great. Yeah, like, let's open it up, guys. We don't bite. I love the tough questions because this is serious, right? You have to ask those questions if they're kind of weighing on your mind or your heart. But hopefully we got to some of those questions, but all you have to do is click that little microphone thing, or you can type it in the chat. Do.
Don't be shy.
Great question, Tina. Tina asked, how many hours did you spend on getting yourself started? I would say in the beginning, I worked. So I didn't really get home until maybe like 7 o'clock at night. I lived in a condo, so I had to walk my dog, and then I had to eat dinner. So maybe 8:30. So maybe an hour from like 8:30 to 9:30, 10, Monday through Thursday. So what is that, like 7 hours a week? I brought my phone into the bathroom with me at work, checked on my messages. I pre-planned my posts at night. I got on calls like this. But then, as I got more into it, there's different seasons in life. Like now, obviously, I commit 8 hours a day to this. So it really all depends on, and talk to your coach too on, what are your goals right now? And we can be realistic with you of like, all right, do you want to earn $1,000 per week? And you're saying you're only going to work, put 2 hours a week. Nah, like that doesn't equal each other up. But if you're willing to do those 2 hours for 6 months, consistently, then that's where the kind of ball gets rolling. I don't know if Jess or Leia, you wanted to talk about how many hours you spent.
I spent about an hour to 2, including my workouts, including my personal development, probably for the first 4 to 5 months. And then at about 4 to 5 months, like my business started really like building some traction. And then I would definitely say at that point, I decided like I wanted to be like a part-time building to full-time. And I probably started to spend more closer to 2 to 3 hours a day. And now that I'm full-time, even though I'm a full-time coach, my kids are still home half of the day. I probably spend about 5 to 6 hours a day working.
In the beginning for me as a teacher, when I was initially starting this business, what I would do is I'd wake up a little early. I would always do my workout in the morning. I would listen to some PD on audio on the way to school because I had like a 25-minute drive. But then I would spend the first 10 or 15 minutes with my lights off in my classroom so nobody knew I was there. And I would be doing, reaching out to people, checking in with my groups. So probably 15 to 20 minutes there. I kind of did little pockets of time based around my job before I really went into it full time. I would post on the evenings, check in with my groups at nighttime. In the beginning, my husband did say I was on my phone a lot, mostly because he was getting used to working a mobile business. So, you do kind of have to prepare a little bit for that. But like Rose said, it depends on your goals. If you want to make $1,000 a week, then you're going to have to put in the time and effort. But we can help you, and your coach can help you with focused time so that you're not just wasting time scrolling around. There are things and actions that you can do as a coach that will help you see more activity with your business within the allotted time that you have. So if you have 2 hours, even if it's broken up throughout the day, if you kind of give yourself a little schedule during that time, it'll just help you utilize the time that you do have more efficiently.
And then, sorry, I'm going to butcher your name, Kayleen. Sorry. She asked, I really love the gym and getting out of the house to do some fitness classes. Spin, kickboxing, is this contradictory to what Beachbody is based on? Could I continue and still be a coach? Of course. Like, we don't say, no, you can't do anything else. We have people that are fitness instructors, right? They might teach Insanity or whatever, but yeah, we have people that do the workouts at the gym. They bring Beachbody on demand or whatever. They go to classes. We have a lot of people that do marathons. We have a lot of people that do like the Tough Mudders and things like that. So yeah, I mean, health and fitness just doesn't mean you have to be like, fitness is just Beachbody and you're like a robot. But I would say to that too, like, you do want to do like a program from start to finish. Cause you know, we like to say like being proof the products work. Like, I can't say like 80-day obsession is so awesome, but I'm not doing it. Like, that's like, nah. So I would definitely like do a program from start to finish. But you can still have, you know, your love for the gym. And cause I know too, like a lot of people do like getting out of the house, especially like if you're cooked up all day, inside and just like seeing different people and things like that. Yeah. Like totally for sure.
Also helps you with networking. You know, if you think about it, if you're going to a yoga class and, you know, you hear another mom talking about how she can only get to one class and gosh, I wish I could do more, you know, start a conversation and let them know that there are other things that you can do supplemental to when you get your one class a week. You know, personally, as someone who I'm a huge yogi, and as soon as I can, I'm getting my butt back to a studio to do the occasional yoga class, because that'll be my little escape from my daughter and me days. But, you know, it's a great way to make connections with other people to bring them on board for the days that they can't get to the gym.
And then Ashley had a question. I haven't posted my coming out post yet, which is like when you're a brand new coach, you know, you post on Facebook or social media that you're a coach, right? You kind of like open up your doors. She said mainly because she's a highly anxious person, and I've been nervous about how people, Facebook friends, would react seeing it. Did any of you have problems with anxiety in the beginning while you started putting yourself out there? And if so, how did you overcome those hurdles? Ashley, I never posted on Facebook before I became a coach. I was one of those stalker people. I would look at everything that everyone else posted, but hell no, I was not posting a selfie. Like, only weird people do that stuff. How did I get over that? So as a coach, we do a lot of personal development because yeah, like we always think of like, what does this person think of me? Or like, what are they going to say? What is my family going to think if I become a coach? Like, I had all those same thoughts, right? And yeah, like my brother like poo-pooed on being a coach until like now he realizes like, holy crap, like she grew this freaking empire. And it's kind of funny. I'm like, haha, like you could have been a part of it, but you didn't want to see it. So how did I get over it? I think my reason why I was doing this, I had my back up against the wall. I was so lost in what I was doing in my life. I was so going through the motions. I needed an out, and this was going to get me there. So the opinions of other people were not going to be paying my bills. The opinion of other people weren't going to help me, you know, get out of this long distance relationship so that we could actually get married and start our life together. So I had to think about what's important to me, and people are going to have their opinion regardless, right? So you just have to, and that's what I did. I had to think of what was important to me, what was my priority, and what was true that I had to do for my life because other people were not living it. Because little funny statistic, let me see if I can say this right. On your funeral day, what's the biggest determining factor whether people show up or not? The weather. Right? Like, we go through our lives worrying about what everyone else is thinking about us, but it's the freaking rain that decides whether they're coming to your funeral or not. And I'll be honest, I had to go to a funeral this winter, and a lot of people didn't show up, and he was a great man because it was a snow day. It was snowing out. And I'm like, man, that is so true. So don't live your life for other people. You got to live your life for yourself.
And I will say to who asked that, Ashley, I've had family unfollow me, and it's just, if it's not for them, they'll choose to not let it be for them. My brother runs and owns a CrossFit gym with his wife, and like Rose, he's not the biggest supporter of what I do because it's not CrossFit. And at first I was really hesitant and to share, and I was nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, what's he going to say? What's he going to think? Well, it turns out he's not going to say or think much. He's just unfollowed me. Totally fine with me. I see him all the time. Quite all right. The people who need you will follow you, and the people who connect with you will reach out to you. Those who aren't ready yet, or those who maybe are too afraid to attempt to do what you do, they'll unfollow and they'll choose not to comment. And you will have your fair share of people. I actually never really had it personally. I've never had a problem with posting. I share a lot. But some people will comment. And generally it's coming from a place of insecurity on their own journey. And a lot of people, when they'll question you why you're doing what you're doing, and then when you see where you've gotten, they ask you no longer why you're doing it, but how you did it. And that's kind of the point, is you just keep showing them day in, day out that it's not something that's a fad, it's not a trend, it's not something that's going to come and go, that it's going to be something that you're invested in for your own well-being and for the sake of helping other people. As long as you come from a really authentic place, they can't question it. Men. Brothers. We should say brothers.
Our brothers. They should be best friends.
They probably would be.
They sound like the perfect match. Those were awesome questions. Last call for questions. You guys freaking rock. I mean, we've been almost here for an hour and a half. So thank you for taking the time out of your night. Something like this, like we all said, is super important, can really change really anything that you want to, as long as you believe in it, right? If you believe that it can happen, you can make anything happen. And I know, like, that's so cliche, and you say that to like your little kid, but it is so true. And I've seen it time and time again, looking at Leia and Jessica and a lot of the coaches on our team. If you put the heart and hustle into it, you can make anything that you want happen. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night, and I will post a recording in the group and I will email it out. Have a great night. Thanks.